My name's Jimmy. I was just living a normal life like everyone else was. I was running my own business, just living a normal life, and I went across the road one day, the same road I've crossed many times, even from my teenage years. And I got hit by cars. I crossed this road, a car hit me. I landed on his bonnet. The car stopped, it braked, I rolled off the car and fell in front of the car. Then the car decided to run over me. The driver of the car decided to run over me, both wheels. So he ran over me with the front wheel and broke me across here, and then he ran me over with the back wheel and crushed all the brakes. So my injuries was very, very severe. The injuries I sustained through this was I had 10 ribs this side broke, 5 ribs this side broke, my pelvis both sides were broke, the 2 tops of my arms were smashed, because obviously when he went across me, he caused a lot of injuries, and he went across the brakes and crushed all the brakes. This wrist was broke, he'd done the 7th vertebrae in my neck, this collarbone was broke, and I had a bleed to the brain at one time, and that was all my injuries I had. And the 2 tops of my arms here, these were broken. Obviously when the car went over twice, it didn't only just break, but it crushed the brakes as well. A lot of the challenge I experienced was obviously having so many injuries at one time. It was difficult sometimes to think what's going to recover and how is it going to recover. That was some of the challenges I faced, but I faced these challenges with assurance, and the team that I was under, the physio team, the trauma team, everyone that I was under encouraged me and helped me through my challenges in St George's Hospital. I can remember the early stages of my rehab on the ward. I come out of intensive care and I was put onto a Holdsworth ward, and I can remember the physiotherapy team coming round one day and got me out of bed and put me in a chair, and that was a big part of my recovery. The physio was a very big part of my recovery. That first movement from getting out of the bed into a chair, that was a big part of my recovery in the beginning. Just simply getting out of bed into a chair. Unless that was done first of all, I don't think my recovery would have progressed from there. And since then, my recovery has progressed and progressed. My rehab, in the early stages of my rehab, I had a very good physiotherapy team in St George's Hospital. Not only were they good in their profession, but their character as well. It was their character that inspired you and encouraged you to do the things they was telling you to do and asking you to do. And as I progressed and as I was doing the things they were telling me to do in the physiotherapy team, I started to see progresses in my own life. And because of their inspiration and because of their help, it inspired me to do the things they told me to do. And by doing that, I experienced the recovery myself. I see changes for the benefit of myself, and that encouraged me to continue with my physio. And that has progressed and still progressing today. The physiotherapy and the trauma team pathway was absolutely excellent. If there was such thing as a world, like you get a world championship in football or the Olympics games, if I could recommend and say with confidence the team in St George's Hospital, the pathway that they took me down, if I could enter them into a world competition, I would be assured that they would win, because the pathway was absolutely excellent. From the state I was in and the injuries I received to where I've come from today, through that pathway, because of that pathway, has been absolutely fantastic. The advice I would give to everyone today, someone going through some sort of trauma, or had experienced some sort of accident, or going through something in their life the same as what I've been through, is that you must continue. You must do what the doctors say. You must do what the physiotherapy team say, and you must do what the doctors say, because I'm living proof that with their help, I've had a big recovery from a major trauma. So my advice to everyone, some days the progress you don't see a lot, but when you look back over months or weeks and you continue in doing what you tell them to do, you start to see progress. And some progress is only small, but every little bit of small movement in time becomes a big movement, so that little progress becomes a big progress. So my advice is to continue. Throughout my experience, I've got a good family. I've got a good wife and good children. And that we're a Christian family. We're a Christian family, and I had a praying family. I had a wife and children that prayed. They prayed for me. And I know God has heard their prayers. I know God has helped me being here today as well. God has helped my progress. And I've got some Christian friends, very good friends, and it's good to have the support of your family around you at these times. And I was privileged to have a praying family, a family that had faith in Jesus Christ and believed in God. And I know their prayers has been answered for me, and everyone's prayers, everyone who prayed for me.